Okay, hi. I'm postcoming this because for some godforsaken reason, my my webcam program, for whatever reason, decided to not record my microphone audio. So I'm having to do this postcom, and it really pisses me off because you're not gonna get to hear my entire full thought process through this. But you know, it's whatever. And yeah, I'm viewing this from Jerry Oak's side of the battle because I didn't save the battle video either. It makes me really mad. Anyways, let's just get started. So he leads off with his Yuxi, and my thought process is leading off with my Tauros. I'm gonna hit something as hard as I can because why not? And my Tauros is Choice Scarfed and it's adamant. So first turn, I go for Body Slam. It does a decent amount of damage actually. It did a lot more than I thought it would. And he sets up his rocks, and I'm like, cool, he sets up rocks. Alright, what's he gonna do next? Probably U-turn, right? So he gets his leftovers recovery, and I'm gonna go for Body Slam again. I'm Choice Scarfed into it, so whatever. It's gonna do a sizable amount of damage as well, even with leftovers recovery. So I go for Body Slam again, and what is he? I'm thinking he's just gonna U-turn. No, he Thunder Waves, and that actually shuts down my Tauros completely. And I'm like, crap. This is gonna be a long battle. And on the next turn is when he actually goes for U-turn. So I go for I switch out my Tauros because I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. I go out to tear me down my Palisand because I'm thinking if he stays in, I can just Shadow Ball and knock this thing out. And he actually U-turns and goes out into, I would think, his Starmie, since that thing knocks me out with a Hydro Pump like nothing else. But he actually goes out into his Amoonguss. And I'm thinking, okay, I can't stay in, this is a grass type. So I switch out, and I switch out into my Heatran Pompeii, and at this moment, I think he's gonna Spore. He's gonna Spore. And he Spores. So I have two Pokemon that are essential to me winning, that are, one is paralyzed and can't do anything, and then the other one's asleep. But for some reason, his eyes are still open. I don't get it. Anyways, now he switches out into his Gliscor, and I know right away that this thing is Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, and that's gonna be so rough to kill this thing. There he goes, gets his Toxic Orb. I went for something just to burn a turn of sleep, and I switch out into Special Brownies my Slowbro, because Special Brownies rocking Earthquake, or Ice Beam and Scald, and can destroy this thing, and it takes an Earthquake pretty well, actually. A lot better than I thought it would. Especially from a Gliscor. So I'm thinking this Gliscor's defensive, right? I'm thinking he's gotta be defensive. Like, physically defensive. He goes for Taunt, but I laugh at that because ha 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 ha, I went for Ice Beam. So I go for Ice Beam, and it does a large amount of damage because it's quad effective, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. Next turn, I knock him out with Scald. Awesome. So I just go for Scald on my next turn, but he switches out, of course, because he's not going to let his Gliscor go down so easily, and I hate how much Poison Heal actually heals. It's so rough. So rough. And he goes back out into his Yuxi, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can probably get this thing. I can probably knock this thing out with a Scald or two. I get the Scald, and I do actually get the burn here, which actually kind of sucks, but I was actually kind of hoping for it because this thing is a wall, and any residual damage I can get on this thing is great. And if I'm recalling correctly, I think Burn and Leftovers cancel each other out. Yeah, they cancel each other out, pretty much. So, I mean, there's nothing else really he can do except for U-turn out and go out into something that can take me on, which is most likely his Amoonguss. I don't actually remember all of the battles, so I'm just guessing right now, but I'm guessing pretty well. So I go for Scald again, just to see what... I go for Scald again, because why not? I have no reason not to. I could have gone for Ice Beam, but I wasn't going to predict this thing coming out, so I just went for the stab damage. And so now, since this thing is a grass type, and I'm a water type, I was going to switch out, but then I was like, you know what? No. I'm just going to see what I can do with Ice Beam. So I go for Ice Beam. And I do laughable amounts of damage for a super effective move. And so I'm like, okay, I can't stay in. Plus, I just got poisoned. I think I might try to, like, stall this thing out a little bit, but I actually don't do that. I think what I actually do is I actually switch out into my Heatran and try to burn a turn of sleep or two. Am I right? I am right. So I switch out into my Heatran, trying to burn a turn of sleep here. Because I can't have my Heatran be asleep. It's actually not going to be good. He goes for Synthesis, and so I'm like, oh great, even more recovery. This battle is going to be so much fun. So much fun. And so he switches out into his Starmie. And I burn a turn of sleep. And I'm like, okay, this thing's water type, it's going to knock me out with one Hydro Pump. I gotta switch out. And I switch out into my Palossand, and I calced it, and as long as he didn't have Hydro Pump, he didn't knock me out, but he has Hydro Pump, and he knocks me out. And I'm like, okay, well, since he didn't bring Cobalion, but he did bring Tapu Koko, tear me down would have been nice, but not essential. So I go out into my Jolteon, thinking, alright, I can just Thunderbolt and get this thing out of here. I'm going to scare him out, of course, so he switches out into his Uxie, but that's okay, because Thunderbolt knocks this thing out. It's so low, it doesn't even matter. I had Choice Specs with my Jolteon, and I do have the Timid Nature this time, so crit doesn't matter, I knock him out, whatever. I mean, just salt in the wound, feels bad, man. And so I withdraw my Jolteon from here, because I'm not going to be able to 1v1 this thing, and I go out into my Venusaur, because I can definitely 1v1 this thing with my Venusaur. I can't get poisoned, and if I recall correctly, I think my Sludge Bomb does more than his does, so there's that. I Mega Evolve, because I actually got the Mega Ring in this copy this time. And I actually go for Giga Drain, because I was hoping he would switch out, but he didn't. Feels bad, man. I get laughable amounts of HP back. He goes for another Sludge Bomb. And I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't do anything. I can definitely 1v1 this thing. So I try 1v1ing this thing with Sludge Bomb for a while. And to be honest, it really doesn't do me all that good. I know I outspeed this thing, so I can go for Synthesis on this turn. He withdraws to get his Regenerator recovery, and goes out into his Gliscor, while I go for Synthesis. And I'm thinking, okay, this thing's gonna have Earthquake, he's gonna try to take advantage of my Poison typing. And I don't think that Grass resists, although now that I'm thinking of it, I think it actually does. Or you know what, he probably wants to take advantage of my Grass typing, now that I think of it. But he actually doesn't. The weird thing is, he actually goes for Taunt again. And I'm like, okay. Like, alright. That's fine. I can just go for Ice Beam again. Go for Ice Beam again, and I'm not weak to ground as Mega Venusaur, so whatever. Anyways, I'm hurt by the poison. He switches out. I think I actually went for Scald for whatever reason. I go for Scald again, hoping to get the burn actually, because I need residual damage on this thing. And I get the burn, feels bad, man. Like, literally any Stally Pokemon, residual damage is perfect. It's just perfect, if I can get residual damage. But I'm not gonna leave my Slowbro in against this thing, because that's not a smart idea. So, I switch out, and I go out into my Tauros, thinking, alright, this thing isn't really all that much use to me. I don't need it to win. I can win with everything else that I have. I just need to find a way to knock out Starmie, really. Or really just get Oleander in against Starmie, and slow Starmie down. But you know what? It's whatever. And so, I actually go for Body Slam here, and he switches out into his Gliscor, and I count this, and it should do like 30%, but it actually does a lot more than I thought it would do. Like, that did a huge chunk of damage. I don't know how much that is, but it did a huge chunk. And so we go into a little stally war right here, where he goes for Roost, and I just keep going for Body Slam. And this happens for a long time. Gosh, how much does that do? I actually want to see, like, how much that does. He has... so, let's see, how much HP does he get off this Roost? He has this, he goes 153. He had 153. So that's doing 82. So 172 divided by 82. 82 divided by 82 divided by 172 is, it does like 48%. It does a lot of damage. And so, once he gets his poison heal here, I'm thinking, okay, this can't go on forever. So I switch out into my Jolteon, and I'm thinking, I tell him, go for Earthquake. You won't, you're not real. But no, this man is real. And he goes for Earthquake, and right here is actually where I lose the game. Because this thing is the only thing I have for Starmie. It's the only thing I have for Starmie. And so I just lost the game right here. So I switch out into my Slowbro, and by this time, I'm just like, you know what, he's gonna switch out into his Amoonguss. So I just go for Ice Beam, or do I go for Scald? I don't remember. I go for Ice Beam. And it does, like, no damage for being super effective. Actually, you know what, that did a good amount. Hold on, 219? Wait, it was 139 divided by 219. Does... no, there's no way that's right. On 219 minus 139, so it did 80 points of damage. So 219, so 80 divided by 219, it did like 37%. So eventually, I switch out into my Heatran. He goes for Giga Drain. I think this literally does like 4 points of damage, if I remember correctly. It did like 4 or 5 points of damage. It was hilarious. It was laughable. And so I click Lava Plume, hoping to wake up, but of course I'm not gonna wake up because it's just my luck that I would get all the turns of sleep in the world. And no, sleep does not reset when you switch out. It doesn't. I actually researched this and talked to like a bunch of people. It does not reset when you switch out, but I stayed asleep because that's just my luck. He switches out into his Starmie, so I switch out again into my Slowbro with my Regenerator's Recovery. Yummy. And he goes for Hydro Pump, and it does a lot of damage. For being resisted, that does a lot of damage. I mean, it is a base 110 power move, but this guy is not missing his Hydro Pumps, and I need him to miss his Hydro Pumps. And I know I can't 1v1 this thing. There's no way. There's absolutely no way I can 1v1 this thing. It's not happening. He goes for Hydro Pump again. I'm expecting to actually die here, but I actually live. And I'm like, what? I went for Slack. Actually, no, I timed out and I went for Flamethrower. So yeah, whoop-de-doo. There's my last move, Flamethrower. And at this point, I'm like, okay. I need to do something else. So, to get my Regenerator's Recovery, I switch out. Into my Venusaur, and on this turn, he actually goes for Psychic. And I've definitely lost the game down because I don't have my Venusaur anymore. So, he proceeds to win the game with his Starmie. Because all he has to do is hit a couple Hydro Pumps, hit a few Hydro Pumps, and I'm dead. Or hit just some Psychics, and I'm done. Hit one Hydro Pump and a few Psychics, and I'm done. So he hits the Psychic, I'm gone. Tauros is not living that. Never. Never is he living that. And so he has like 4 turns left of Life Orb damage, Life Orb recoil. But no, this man switches out and rubs it in my face with Tapu Koko. Now, he'll deny that he's rubbing it in my face, but let's be honest. He had at least a few turns left of, what do you call it? Life Orb. And he would have knocked me out with 2 Psychics. So, 3 turns, and I was gone. Like, with the poison damage, he would have knocked me out. But no, he just decides to go for Thunderbolt. He decides, I need to rub it in this guy's face. He'll deny it. He'll deny it left and right. He'll deny it up, down, left, and right, and just say he was not rubbing my face, just securing the win. But if you're honest, he's just rubbing in my face. At least that's how it felt in the moment. I'm still kind of salty about it, but that's just me. And so he goes for another Thunderbolt, and I'm not living that. I went for Earth Power on the off chance that I lived and woke up, but no. So, that's that. I lose 5-0 once again because I can't do anything with my team, and I have made a huge misplay. If I would have kept Blitzcrank around, I might have had a better shot at winning the game. Actually, I probably would have won the game because I would have been able to knock out Starmie. But, happens to the best of us. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week for Season 3, Week 3. Week 3 of Season 3 of the NPA. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye!